Israeli Prime Minister Benjamin Netanyahu stepped up his rare public argument with US President Joe Biden on Tuesday, after Biden criticized his controversial attempts to weaken the Israeli judiciary. Netanyahu rejected pressure from the White House. After widespread protests and strikes brought Israel to a standstill and delayed the legislation, Biden said on Tuesday that he won't invite Netanyahu to the White House in the near term, and delivered an unusually stinging rebuke of Netanyahu's proposed judicial overhaul. "I'm very concerned, just like many ardent supporters of Israel. I'm worried they won't understand this. They're unable to go on like this." In North Carolina, Biden told reporters, "I've sort of made that clear. We can only hope that the Prime Minister will act in a way that he can resolve." Late on Tuesday night, Netanyahu responded with a statement. He noted Biden's long-standing commitment to Israel, but he also said that Israel is a sovereign nation that bases its decisions on the will of its citizens, rather than outside pressures, including those from its closest allies. The leaders of the two closely allied nations' relationship are put under an unusual amount of stress as a result of the exchange. Israeli opposition figure and former Prime Minister Yair Lapid declared on Wednesday that Netanyahu's actions have ruined the relationship. Israel was the United States' closest ally for many years. In 3 months, that was destroyed by the most extreme government in the nation's history, Lapid tweeted. Following the Netanyahu government's attempts to undermine the authority of the country's courts, anger flared up inside Israel, as well as among some Jewish communities in the US and other countries. Netanyahu claims he will put off reforming the judiciary. Will that be sufficient for protesters, though? After a general strike and widespread protests threw Israel into chaos, the Prime Minister finally put the legislation on hold on Monday. However, he stated that he intended to resume the effort during the following legislative term. Netanyahu's ongoing corruption trial, which he denies, is set by critics to be the reason he is pushing for the changes. In contrast to his administration's statement on Sunday, which said it was watching the escalating tension with concern, Biden had so far refrained from criticizing Netanyahu's efforts directly. However, his remarks on Tuesday were a rare instance of direct US interference in Israeli domestic affairs. Additionally, it was revealed on Tuesday that Florida Governor Ron DeSantis will travel to Jerusalem the following month. This trip is sure to immerse the potential Republican presidential contender in the turmoil in Israel's society and its tense bilateral relations with the US. DeSantis told the Jerusalem Post, which released information about his scheduled keynote address at an April 27 event, at a time of unnecessarily strained relations between Jerusalem and Washington, Florida serves as a bridge between the American and Israeli people. Before then, the discussion surrounding Netanyahu's proposals is likely to heat up again. Despite buying himself some time on Monday, he has remained adamant about completing the overhaul of the judiciary, which detractors claim weakens Israel's democracy. The legislation will be put on hold until after Passover, Netanyahu said in a memo to staff on Tuesday. "We are in the middle of an important debate, we will overcome it. You will sit with the families on the night before the Seder because you are going to Passover. You can argue a little, but not too much, and you will eventually reach a consensus. We want to come to agreements with each other and with you," he said.